hopefully the bench mob has never died, but it's the bench mob's, it's kind of our MO. It's what we want to do. We want to be able to bring energy every single night. Obviously, this was a big game, but it's something that we want to make sure that we do for 82 games. And I think we were able to step it up a little bit of a notch. Sometimes it's going to be scoring points. Sometimes it's going to be rebounding the ball, defending. But the effort and energy has to be there night in and night out from the guys on the bench, because we got to support the starters who do such a great job.
How big is it to add starter Dante?
Well, starter Dante's still got to file for application and reinstatement because he was in the starting lineup for 10-plus games. However, take that little detail out of it, it's great. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. He brings, great dynamic to our team in general, let alone just the bench mob. The things that he's able to do off the dribble, the hustle plays he's able to make, and I really enjoy playing with him. I love flying around out there with him. I love playing with him on offense. Love playing with him on defense. It's a fun group.
Tonight's performance was dominant. Did anything surprise you about how this game went?
No, I mean, we wanted to make sure we played our brand of basketball for 48 minutes. I think Coach really preached that to us, today at shoot-around in the last few days, and that's what we tried to do. We tried to take it one possession at a time and make sure that we were the more disciplined team. We were the team that was working a little harder, and we were the team that, above all else, was defending. And I think we were able to do that, and, we were able to obviously, come away with a win.
And George was saying that in the time that he's been here, this might be the game that you point to that you guys definitely played 48 minutes of basketball. Why were you able to do that today, put it together in this matchup?
To be honest, I think it's just something we've been working towards. It's something that each and every day we've been trying to do. Happened to come out at a great time versus a great team. But it's something that, game 23, 24, whatever it may be, we need to try to sustain it. Obviously, we'll enjoy it tonight. We'll, give Giannis a little birthday celebration for the night. But after that, we got to make sure that we come back and do the same thing Monday and the same thing Wednesday, so on and so forth. It shouldn't matter who we're playing. We need to try to play for 48 minutes each and every night.
There's a lot of talk that the NBA regular season is not special enough, and that people wait too much for the playoffs. Is it fair to say, though, that this was a game between two contenders, pretty much healthy, that meant a little more?
Yeah, I mean, it's fair to say that there was a lot of talent on the floor. I think every single NBA game, you got to bring your A game. Each and every single night, there's a lot of talent throughout the NBA, and anybody can beat anybody on any given night. So you got to bring your A game. But tonight, obviously, there's a bunch of all-stars in this game. There's a bunch of guys that had some notoriety behind it. So there might have been a little bit more energy from the crowd. It might have been a little bit more lead up to it. But for us, it's the same 48 minutes in between 94 feet, and we have to play our brand of basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks brand of basketball. And quite frankly, I think it's pretty exciting to watch. I think we've done a pretty good job of being exciting this season. So hopefully, those fans who are waiting for the playoffs try to tune into the Bucks.
Now, given the success you guys are having, how do you avoid kicking one away here or there, which obviously you could afford, but it doesn't seem like that's on the agenda?
Coach Bud, he does a phenomenal job. I mean, he makes sure that each and every single game we learn something from it. Obviously, like George said, we played a pretty good 48 minutes tonight, but there are things that we could do better. I mean, there are things the second unit, that last unit that I was part of that finished the game, that we could do better. Stopping fast breaks. There were a few possessions that, I think we could have performed at a higher level, and Coach does a great job of making sure we stay humble in victory. And I think that's something that's really important, especially in the NBA. You get on roles like this that we're fortunate to be on, but they don't just happen overnight. You can't just turn on switches in the NBA. You got to make sure that you bring it each and every day, and it starts with practice, and that's what Coach Bud's been preaching since training camp.
There was a stretch where you took on guarding Kawhi for a lot of the night. It was Wes. What did you think about the way he handled that challenge?
Wes is the vet of all vets. I think that's the best compliment you can have as an NBA player. He does a phenomenal job of bringing toughness, tenacity, energy, effort to every single game. And I think tonight, it showed. He did a phenomenal job on Kawhi, and Kawhi's a really tough player to guard. He's one of the best players in the league. So to be able to match and make it hard for him, I think something that he told me when Coach put me on him. It's just about you got to try to do your best to make sure you take him out of his bread and butter. He's a great player. He's going to make shots. He's going to obviously help fuel that team. But if you can get him to his second, third, fourth, counter options, it just gives us a better chance as a team. And above all else, we got 4 other guys on the floor that Coach Bud preaches team defense with. So you got to try to make it as hard as you can on him, knowing you got 4 guys behind you that have your back.